The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for participating in today's credit card processing, savings, and security webinar. I'd like to let you know that everyone is in mute only. If you have any questions during the presentation, we will definitely answer all your questions at the end of the presentation. So please just type them in the side panel there in the question or chat tab, and I'll keep an eye out for your questions. We have Dan Clark with Capital Bankcard, and he's going to be presenting today's webinar. And Dan is a trusted advisor, go-to authority on emerging patient technologies, specializing in cost-cutting technologies designed to increase the financial success of his clients. Optimizing payment technology solutions for all industries with a dedication to delivering exceptional customer service and technical support. Services include EMV-ready solutions, PCI compliance, cost-saving, credit card PIN debit steering technology, tokenization and P2P encryption, mobile services, digital capture, and more. All services designed to ensure the reduction of costs, risk, and liabilities. Before I hand it over to Dan, I'd like to show everyone a few poll questions that Dan put together. And if you would take a few moments to read the poll question and answer, we'd appreciate it. So here is the first one. Okay, I'm going to close that and go to the second question. There you are. Okay, I'll go ahead and close the second question and we'll move to the third. There it goes. And last question coming up. And there it is. Okay, we'll close that, and we will share the responses, and Dan may elaborate on those at the end of the presentation, and I'll hand it over to Dan Clark.
Hello, everyone. I know you're probably have short on time, so we're going to kind of roll through this as quickly as we possibly can. But I'm happy to present some high-level news regarding shifts in the electronic payments industry and its effect upon you and your medical practice. Through this presentation, you're going to hear some helpful information and an opportunity that will bring value to you and your practice, and may even put some money directly in your pocket. In today's brief presentation, we're going to move fast, but we're going to cover something all of us use every day, including the technology that changes occurring right before our eyes that are shaping certain aspects of everyone's daily life. Also today, I'll cover how these changes and technology have direct effect on you or your medical practice, your patient security, and you personally as well. Our country is finally adapting a new level of security that is far overdue. But last but not least, we're going to discuss the program that Physician Partners has created for your benefit through a partnership with Capital Bankcard to bring you these technologies and security and how best to manage the liability shift imposed by our federal government through the major credit card companies. Oh yeah, one more thing that's kind of important you might want to hear about, and that's we're going to discuss a program we have developed to help lower the cost of processing credit cards with each and every patient. So the first slide you're looking at here is some of the new changes that are going on out there. I know you've heard of some of these already. Mobile transactions. Everybody's hearing about how we can start doing things differently in buying products and services. Well, that industry, as you can see from the first bullet point there, is growing tremendously fast. There is expected over 61% of the actual type of payments that are made to 47 billion transactions that are going to occur on mobile devices just this year alone. That's up almost 30 billion transactions from just 2 years ago. Those transactions generate dollar revenue. Well, they're looking at those numbers to grow close to 800 billion by the end of next year. So you can see this is a monster effect that's happening on the marketplace when it comes to processing payments or paying for products. Now, there's something new that I know most of you probably have never even heard of before, and that is a new form of settlement that is being developed right now. Hasn't been launched yet, but it's in the works. Today, when you go and take a transaction, you're getting your money deposited either in 1 day or 2 days or maybe 3 days from now. The new platform, which is called a new payment platform, NPP, what a novel name for it, is actually will clear settlements in real time. So the moment you take a transaction, it's automatically put into your bank account. That's where this is going to. Some pretty positive stuff. Next slide, please. We talk, well, those mobile payments, Apple Pay, you've heard about it constantly. Google Wallet's been around for longer than Apple Pay, but thanks to Apple Pay and their excitement, it has certainly driven that market to where it's headed to. As you can see, the numbers are way high in the hundreds of billions of dollars as far as the growth of that marketplace. So mobile payment is the fastest growing segment of all the marketplaces that are out there. But there's another concern that people have on top of this, is that how safe is this going to be? Well, we are the last country in the world to adapt a new security platform, and it's called EMV. And it's a mandatory platform that everyone in the United States has to be on, business-wise that is, by October. And so we're going to talk more about the EMV platform. You go to the next slide, please. Here we go. The federal changes to the credit card processing. EMV, which actually stands for Europay, MasterCard, and Visa, because that's where it was actually originally created for. It was a European marketplace. That's where it first started at. This is where you've probably already seen some patients come into your door that have a credit card that doesn't have the magnetic strip on the back side. It has a chip that's buried inside of the card. And what they're able to do with that is one of two things. They have a secure PIN number like they would for a debit card, but it's their credit card. And so they can put in their PIN number, and it slides into the very front portion of the credit card terminal as opposed to swiping it on the side. They put their PIN in, and it creates a token which sends that information in, but nothing about the person who owns the card, only about the transaction itself. So therefore, they call it PIN and chip. You'll be able to either sign for that or use the PIN for that, whichever makes you more comfortable. Likewise, it'll be embedded within the Google Wallet and Apple Pay that's already currently, both of those are available. So the question is, do you have EMV in place already? Will your terminal that you currently have accept those credit cards? You, me, everybody is getting brand new credit cards, and these are the cards that we deliver to our homes. So what are your liabilities for not having that terminal that will accept an EMV terminal? If after October you don't have a terminal that will accept a PIN and chip card, and fraud should occur, whether they use a fraudulent card to pay for their services, or you took it over the phone, however it was done, the merchant, the practice, becomes 100% liable for any fraudulent transactions, and there's zero recourse. So what they've done is they've drawn a line in the sand of where liability lies at, as opposed to pointing to the bank or the processing company. It's all about who has this security in place or who doesn't have it in place. And that's where this whole market's going to, and it's happening this year. Next slide, please. So there you go, a little bit about the technology. Now I want to talk a little bit more about your personal experience with merchant processing. Are you overpaying? Do you know what your rates are by card and transaction time? Most people aren't really sure what they're paying, and it's understandable too. Most merchant statements are designed so that people cannot figure out what they're truly paying. A lot of times there's charges that are implied into the statement that are very difficult to understand when you even read them. So, and there's other steps that you can take as well that we provide education for to help you get the best rate possible depending on how you take that credit card, be it physical or over the phone as it may be. Does your statement include downgrade fees? Do you have monthly minimum fees that you're paying? Maybe a service fee? Maybe you're getting charged for a paper statement. If you wanted to cancel your merchant agreement today, is there a termination fee? A lot of those will typically run around $300 to $600. And is there an application fee? Did you pay an application just to get your statement started again? Here's a good question for you. The terminals that you do have, some of those aren't purchased, they're leased. Are you leasing your terminal? If you are, we can certainly help you get out of paying for those monthly leasing fees. Next slide, please.
Sorry, just a sec. There we
go. Here's an interesting twist for you. You know, I hated it when my insurance went from $200 a month to $500 a month, and my annual deductible changed from $750 a year to $5,000 a year. So, you know, we're all in the same boat together dealing with this stuff. So, as a patient, and as your patients come in who have high deductibles, are you having any challenges on collecting those high deductible payments when a procedure is necessary? It's more than just their copayment. We have some features available to you that will help you automate that process and work with your patients so that they can afford their payment without making the whole payment up front to you. It'll help reduce any of your billing costs. It's all done in an automated fashion. Your receivables, you collect your money the following day. It's a pretty good program. We'll get more into details about that later if you're interested. Let's talk about the hardware. We show a picture here of a couple of terminals. What you're seeing is the larger one on the right is the physical credit card terminal that you would have at your desk. That's someone hands you a card and you would plug into it. The slot is on the very lower part of that terminal on the right. That is EMV capable. The one on the left is actually a pen pad. It in itself is EMV capable as well. Both of these devices have the ability to accept a pen and chip card, can accept a written signature, can accept a pen itself, or can accept an NFC transaction, meaning it comes directly from your Samsung phone, or your Android, or from your Apple phone. So you don't have to pull out a credit card. Likewise, they actually have the ability, if your credit card has the NFC capability added to it, you can just touch the top of the terminal and it will generate the transaction without you ever inserted it inside of it or signing for it. Just whatever your speed is and whatever you like to do, there's multiple ways for it to accept a payment from you and be secure at the same time. So what we've done is we designed these on a volume basis to give you the most discounted price possible. As you can see, the product's going to range from $795 to up to $1,000 depending on where you acquire them from. The same products we offer through physician partners a member cost of $445. That's both the terminal and the pen pad together. And right now, through the end of this month only, American Express is making available everyone who has acquired a EMV terminal a $100 cash card sent right to them. So you own the equipment, your net cost is going to be $345 for that, and there's no lease required, and you have the capability for security with the EMV, NFC, Apple Pay, everything that you need to do to take a transaction in any way, fashion, or format possible out there. How our system works. What we try to do, we put together a program, and our process works this way. It's always helpful to know in advance what it is that you have and what it's actually costing you, what it's truly costing you. So what we do, the way we work is that you would send in one of your statements, or more than one if you wanted to. It's your call. And from there, we can analyze that statement and break it down into some simple response that tells you exactly how much you're paying in every category for each type of credit card transaction that has come through your business the month of the statement that you provided. What I would do in addition to that is to the right column of that, plug in our rates that we've negotiated on your behalf so that you can see instantly, had you been processing with us the month that you send us the statement, how much money you would be saving. You can annualize that out and get a real quick picture of how much less money it costs you to process through us than what you're currently doing. Our contracts don't have they're not really a contract per se, they're month to month. There is not a cancellation penalty, there's no leases. You get the equipment directly, it's yours. There's no setup or application fee. You've got great online real-time support. If you wanted a mobile application to drop onto your Samsung or your iPhone, the way that I have mine, it's the same thing. You can do the same thing too through the iPhone store or through the Google Play Store. You can have online access to everything you want to do, so there's nowhere that you can't be that you couldn't take a payment from somebody. We also get involved as far as gift and loyalty cards likewise. So we can help with that if you guys have any ideas in that direction. We do e-commerce as well. So if you have a website and you sell products through your website, we can certainly set that up so the payments can be made directly through your website. All of our funding, including American Express, comes from us, and you're paid the following day. Whatever it gets charged today on a credit card, you process today on a credit card, batches out tonight on a credit card, is in your bank account tomorrow morning. Now this is just a brief example. It's a wide, loose example. Typically what I see on merchant statements, and I read lots of these things, is that your debit credit, which is two different areas, but the lower cost of those can run you anywhere from 1.69%, 7%, all the way up to almost 4%. And I've seen those that run as high as 6%, to be honest with you. So the ranges are all across the board, and that's why it's really good to have me analyze what you currently have so that we can kind of fit you into exactly how your business does business and what's the best program rate-wise for you guys that will save you the most amount of money. So it's not really about the one rate that most people get quoted. It's about the effective rate, meaning that all the different charges that you have for the different types of cards, what did it actually turn out to that you were actually paying to have that service presented for you so you get your money the next day? And that's what we provide for you, is that information. So again, at the bottom of this you can see we don't have any downgrade fees. There's no minimum processing fees. There's no application fee, terminal, equipment leases, or termination fees. So we make it really, really easy for you to do business with us. Comparatively, this is to give you an example of how our rates look that are on a tiered program. On a tiered program, our debit is 0.69. The previous slide would have been 1.69, so even higher. I've seen much higher than that on a debit card. Credit card, with a plain credit card, that means not a rewards card, it's not a corporate card, those sort of things, are out of the country and a national card, is 1.69%. American Express, for all physicians, is going to be 2.59%. So when we move out of the plain reward card category, we go to either mid-qualified or non-qualified. The mid-qualified will bring your rate to 2.49, and the non-qualified, which is typically card not present and corporate cards, will be 3.29%. These are pretty darn competitive rates, to be honest with you. I don't know anyone in the industry who can start off at 0.69. Interchange, once again, it's a different, confusing methodology of billing, but it's done based on the acquiring bank costs plus so many basis points. And once again, I would provide that for you in writing so you get a clearer understanding if that was the best program for you. And I take a look at these based upon how you do, what you do, and what kind of cards you are going through your business to help you get the best rate possible. Next steps, how do you get started with us? All you got to do is request a rate analysis. Real simple to do. You can contact Veronica. She'll get hold of me and connect us together. And from there, you can send in one of your statements to me. And in less than 24 hours, you'll have back a cost analysis and review showing exactly what your current statements are costing you and what we think we can do to help you save how much money and how much that would be for you. Very straightforward and pretty simple to do. We've covered a little bit, haven't we? A lot fast. Maybe you've got some questions.
Thank you, Dan. So if you have any questions, please type those in here in the side panel. In the meantime, we'll share the results to the poll questions, and while you're thinking of some questions there. So let's see.
Well, 2 days.
So sorry, I'm trying to find where those questions went. Okay, can you see those questions on your screen, Dan?
Yes, I
okay,
can.
If you want to go for it and
Sure, absolutely. If it's taking you 2 days to receive your deposits, that's about 1 day too long. So we can certainly speed up your cash flow by getting your money tomorrow morning for what processes today.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to second question here. And there are the results.
I love it. What is EMV? What a surprise. That's the information we discussed a little bit earlier. It's the federal law that's changing here in the United States. Basically, in the United States, we're the last country to get on this platform. When Europe got on this platform, 80% of all fraud was eliminated overnight. And today, while we're hearing constantly every night on the news, if it isn't Target, if it isn't Michael's, if it isn't Home Depot, it's somebody else that had a data breach and everybody's credit card information got stolen. EMV replaces that magnetic strip on the back of your credit card, which is the same as the cassette tape we used to use years ago. You can see that technology never changed. So it's a major, major shift in security, not only for your practice, but for all your patients as well, and you individually as well, me too as well. So this will stop a tremendous amount of it. And everybody knows somebody, if it didn't have it themselves, who had their credit card information stolen and many purchases were made against them. This is going to fix that for you.
Okay. Here's the third question and answers.
So you're familiar with PCI, very good. What you probably want to know is that you're running, if you're familiar with PCI, you're running 2.0. Right now, there's an upgrade to PCI that is 3.0, a significant layer of improvement and security that is available. And those PCI 3.0 comes included in all of our terminals.
Great. Last question.
When you store your credit card information, I guess the questions I would have for you would be, how do you store it? Where is it stored at? And so this is something that we provide for you as well that keeps you secure. And how we do it is we don't secure it, we don't store that information on your PC or your servers. We put it on our servers so that that information stays secure within our firewalls and no one can get to that information. So this is a huge area of PCI, is to make sure that having your customers, your patients' credit card information can no way be obtained by anyone other than the system itself when it processes a payment. If you have other questions, we can certainly talk about that on a one-on-one.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Dan. I don't see any questions here in the panel. So I'd like to thank all of our participants and Dan for participating in today's webinar. The webinar was recorded and will be available on our Physician Resource Center website here in about a week or so. And again, if there are any questions, if you'd like more information on how to get started with an analysis, please give me a call here at Physician Partners at 619-359-6900. 888-888-6600, and I will connect you with Dan. And again, thank you very much, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.